Hi, I'm John Crawford and I'm blind. Welcome back. Well, we had a nice Easter weekend. I hope everybody got some rest and are ready for a new week. We're doing basically the same thing. We had a nice big Easter dinner this weekend, and now we're going to talk a little bit about kitchen mishaps. Blind people have a lot of those in the kitchen. All kinds of things happen. We pick up the wrong utensil, or we pick up the wrong food item, or we put the wrong spice in the wrong thing. So I'm going to talk about a few of my really spectacular fails so that you guys can just enjoy and point your fingers and laugh at me. Ha ha. All right. So here, tonight was a good one. So tonight I was in charge of the macaroni and cheese and the corn. Okay, that should be simple enough, right? Simple enough, macaroni and cheese and corn. Put some butter in the corn, put cheese in the macaroni. No, what was supposed to be a very simple thing ended up kind of a mess. So here's what happened. I made the mac and cheese, I cooked the noodles, and I put them aside. And then I was going to put them back in the pan to mix in the cheese with the milk and all that. You know what I'm talking about. And then I got distracted for a second. I came back and I grabbed the little packet out of, yes, I made Kraft macaroni and cheese. Don't hate me, okay? So I came back with the little sauce packet for the cheese. And I got them mixed up. And you're probably going, John, how did you get the macaroni noodles mixed up with the corn? They're not at all similar. Well, somehow I managed. I took the cheese packet and I poured it in the corn. And then I immediately realized my mistake after it was too late. Well, there's nothing you can do about it at that point. So I basically had cheese corn over here. I managed to save it. I put some milk in with some shredded cheese and mixed it in real good. Added a little bit of salt, and it was fine. It was mac and cheese, basically. But then I was talking to my family about it, and I said, what do you think I should do with this mess? And they both said, put some taco sauce in it, and we'll make it into kind of a thing, a side dish. So we're going to try that tomorrow. So that was my cheese corn. The second thing I'm going to talk about is meat, because as anybody who does any cooking knows, meat is a pretty serious business. You have to be very clean when you're handling it, and you have to be very careful about how good it is. In other words, making sure it didn't go off. When you're cooking it, make sure it's totally done. So this happened to me one time. I had some chicken in my freezer, and it got freezer burned, and I didn't see that until I had gotten the chicken out, and I had thawed it, and I started to cook it in the oven, and all of a sudden this horrible smell wafted from my oven. And I pulled the chicken out, and I cut a little piece off to taste it, and oh my goodness, it was freezer burn. It was nasty. And I would have made somebody in my family very sick if we tried to eat that. So I had to throw that away. I ended up ordering pizza. And then there was a time I made Italian chili. That was pretty simple. I ended up I was using tomato juice, and I was going to use some chili powder and a mix to put in there with my beans and my meat and stuff, and I ended up putting Italian seasoning in my chili. So that was pretty gross. And this last one I'm going to talk about has to do with a griddle I had just bought. I like cooking gadgets in the kitchen. I'll use Foreman grills and toaster ovens and whatever. And so I had put some eggs on the griddle to fry, and the cord was sticking down over the edge of the counter, and it happened to catch in my utensil drawer. So what ended up happening is that I opened the utensil drawer to get a spatula, and I pulled the griddle, and the whole thing, eggs and all, flipped into my utensil drawer and made a absolutely fantastic mess. So those are some of the mishaps I've had in the kitchen. Just to let you know, I'm not a complete baboon in the kitchen. The truth of the matter is that I actually have a pretty good background, starting back when my mom was teaching me to cook when I was a little boy, and my wife, when we got married, showing me all of her family recipes, and we doing a lot of that stuff together. And then we had the home economics program at the Tennessee School for the Blind that we all took, and our home ec teacher was amazing. I still give her a lot of credit for a lot of the stuff that I learned. But yeah, my wife does feel like she can leave me alone in the kitchen most of the time. Anyway, guys, if you've had any really funny or very revealing or telling stories about kitchen mishaps or anything like that that you could bring to light, drop them in the comments. I'd love to hear from you guys. All right, have a good rest of your weekend, and we'll see you tomorrow.